Jason Lee Podcast.
Welcome back to a whole new episode of the Jason Lee Podcast. Whew, feels good to be here. Listen, this has been a mind-boggling week for many reasons, and we're going to get into all those reasons today. But before we get into that, I have to say it feels good to be back, and I'm glad that Marina is here and Rob is back from his bad bitch procedure.
Period.
Did you hear that I said that on the show?
I did. I heard.
He's wearing a faja under his shirt. So for all of you that have been to Colombia to go get a little suck and tuck, Rob feels your pain. But we're back for a whole new show, and I'm so glad because now I am back as the councilman. Can we do a round of applause for that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so for those of you that have been following me for the last year here on the podcast, you know that I moved back home, opened an office there, found me a home, made that my domicile, and then ran for local city government and ran and won. And I recently won, and we celebrated that the other night on election day. Excuse me. I'm sorry. My sinuses are messed up, and I am not feeling 100% because I think my body is finally adjusting to the fact that I'm not operating on adrenaline anymore. But anyway, I won the Stockton City Council District 6 seat, and I want to say shout out to Christina Fugazi and Mario Enriquez, who are also here on the Jason Lee Podcast. You saw them. They also won, and Mariela Ponce, who won for District 2, and she's somebody that I had met a while ago, and she didn't like the nastiness of local politics, and so she decided to be a ghost the whole campaign, and she won. But she dealt directly with her constituents, which is what she should have did, because that's what it's all about. And we're redefining politics. We're showing people that you can have a 7-year-old campaign manager, you can be a very active, very loud person on social media and not worry about what people are going to say. Ooh, like Trump. But with a heart and real meaning and real intentions that are going to bridge people together, like my campaign. And we did it. And we did it in a way that was masterful, but also very focused on people and putting the people over the politics. I'm excited to get ready for this new role. And yeah, I mean, it feels good to reconnect with my community, reconnect with my family, and there's so much energy and support behind me. I want to say to everybody out there watching me, because a lot of you in Stockton now, I mean, you've been watching, but a lot more people are watching now. Thank you so much for all of your volunteerism. Thank you so much for your civic engagement. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for the excitement and the energy we brought back to Stockton. There's so much work to be done, and we're excited to do it. What did you think about election night, and what do you think in general about this whole campaign that we did?
The campaign was a long trail. I feel like it's been years that we've been doing it, but it really was only 1 year. Election night was crazy. I feel like Johnny and I were talking like we were so delusional and so worried just about you winning that we didn't even, I was like, oh, and America's getting a new president tonight. But I didn't even clock that. So, yeah, it was crazy. And watching your whole community gather for you, like, it's crazy. All the faces are familiar. Everyone really has been supporting you from start to finish. So, it was cute.
And I've the entire time I've loved seeing how engaged the community has become by you bringing a new style of politics and new energy to the city. And that's really what it should be about on a local level. People really understanding who's going to be in office, who's going to represent them, and how it could change them on a day-to-day basis. And seeing that energy around it every day has been like really encouraging.
And a lot of young people. Because I feel like when you think of politics, you just think of old farts in there. But it was a lot of young like kids and teenagers who were like, advocating for you.
Listen, we're not going to call our constituents old farts because senior citizens' lives matter. Everybody's lives matters. But what I love about my campaign is it was very inclusive of old, young, gay, straight, every race, every ethnic ground, every faith-based individual. Like, it was about bringing people together, Republican, Democrat. I don't think anybody saw anything other than bridges being built. And people are tired of the Democrat versus Republican, you know, it's so loud on the left and so loud on the right. People just want to know, are you going to help me have a better life experience? Are you going to fix things in the city? And that's what I intend to do. Shout out to Floyd Mayweather, who called in to see if we won, and he got the good news right when we were getting the news that we were all winning. And shout out to Tiffany Haddish, who came to Stockton the week before and walked through the community meeting, people taking pictures. You know, these weren't just celebrities who came to Stockton. These are people who are close to me, but also want to help support the work I want to do in Stockton. And so you'll see them again because there's so much that we want to do. I told you, me and Tiffany want to build a grocery store in my community. Floyd, I'm trying to get him to build a skating rink, but there's other independent partnership opportunities there for the city. And look, I'm excited, but what I'm showing people is that you can do it. We need more younger people, more people who are focused on wanting to live in a better world to run for these offices. And I was privileged because of, the success I've had to be able to fund my own campaign. I have a lot of friends with money, so I was able to call people and just say, hey, give me 5,000, give me this 1,000. And they did. So shout out to every single person that I called and pressured to give me money, because you already know I was going to side eye if you didn't. And people actually enjoyed helping. And I've gotten so many calls. I mean, I've gotten calls from senators, congressmen. I've gotten calls from mayors. I've gotten calls from label heads, just everybody that wants to congratulate me and ask how they can help. And like I've told all of you, I will be calling you for money. Because it takes money to be able to create things and to be able to build things. This is going to be the legacy work where now I can leave my imprint on my city. So that is what I'm proud of. And, everybody has been very encouraging to me in my endeavor. Now, that was also the night that we got the bad news that Kamala Harris didn't win. And we're going to get into that. But it was just a lot of emotion on a positive and stressful. But thank you to everybody that called me. Cardi also called, and she posted a couple times asking her voters to support. I was told by the somebody at the Register of Voters office that they had more people signing up to register this year ever, and that the line was all the way down the street and around the corner. And a lot of people were there to vote for me, but they weren't even in my district. People just wanted to go down and vote, which was really good. And also, I'm grateful that I was able to share my platform with Christina and Mario, because yes, when you're running a campaign, it's all about you and your promise. But when you're running it in a city where there's not a strong mayor, meaning like it's not a mayor-run city, it's a city manager managed city, and the city council advisor, you have to have 4 votes. I did a whole educational moment around the 4 votes, and now there's a lot of people that have the same ideas about a new Stockton and how we should be inclusive and promoting the things that we promised people during the campaign. So I'm excited, and thank you again to all the voters. I think Stockton, you did it. You got it right. Thank you. But I also love the fact that Marina sent me a video from TikTok. I'm not over there on TikTok, do you think? I ain't over there, but I know I go viral. One of the TikTokers saw what I was doing in Stockton and was motivated to share her thoughts on it. And I just love that younger people are now reacting to this. Look.
Congratulations to Jason Lee. He was elected to be a council member in Stockton, California. That's his hometown where he was raised. This is major because if you all know, the local council members for the districts in each area and each state is responsible for creating the laws that govern that city. They literally meet every month to vote on different ordinances, different rules. They have a budget so they can determine how that city spends the taxpayers' money in that area. It's major. And if you don't know who Jason Lee is, he has a brand called Hollywood Unlocked. He has an Instagram, YouTube, all of the social media accounts where he does celebrity gossip, trending news. He also does interviews on a podcast. Major. So he's basically transitioning to do local government. This is major. I know we're also hung up on the presidential race, but local government is just as important. At the end of the day, each city and each town has a group of people that's responsible for that area.
Yeah, so it's great to see people are civically engaged and aware. So thank you so much for sharing that. Now, let's get to this mess. It's time with the tea, for the tea with Jason Lee. I have to get back to learning my transitions because I'm going from city councilman to now the guy who has all this cappuccino and tea to share. Let me go ahead and just turn the page now. Well, we might not be as a country because of this. Donald Trump and, I don't like this title. Trump defeats Harris. Listen, Donald Trump is officially our 47th president of the United States. Well, he's president-elect. And it looks like Amber Rose just won her $15,000 bet. Who does she bet? Who she bet?
No, she made it on those apps where like you can flip it and win more if he wins. So she won. I think it was like almost 30,000.
Oh, here it is. Well, she bet 15,000, so she made 28,000. And listen, I hope that the price we're all getting ready to pay is worth that $28,000. I'm sure Amber Rose will have a place in the administration. She'll be like,
You think?
the deputy social director or something. She's gonna be over there. She look.
Bring back slut walks.
Listen, no, she's grown past
Oh,
that.
got
Well,
it.
despite the outcome, Kamala Harris had just over 100 days to make history. 100 days. And become the first African American and Indian American female president. And she still made us all proud. Cardi B was very sad, even though she too was proud about the outcome with Harris losing. As you know, she pulled up to an event to speak on behalf of the vice president. And this is what she said on social media.
I'm sad. I'm sad. I'm sad. I hate. I don't know. I'm just really annoyed. I'm really annoyed. So we've been watching this for like hours now. I haven't even recorded yet. Like we just been watching for hours. I see that Kamala didn't come out to talk at Howard, and as strong as she is, no matter what, I know that she's probably emotional right now. I know there's probably a lot going on in her mind, and I know she's not listening to this, but she eventually will see it. I just hope that she knows that no matter what happened tonight, that millions of people are proud of her. I'm proud of her. Women around the world are proud of her. Women of color are proud of her. And, you know, I'm not even going. Y'all know how I feel in the beginning of the year. I did not want to vote for nobody. She changed my mind. I feel like she was very honest. I feel like she said the things that I wanted to hear. When I look at her in her face, and when she was talking to me, I really felt like she was very genuine. I feel like she was not playing no games. And she had 100 days to do all of this. And she woke this nation up. She woke this nation up. I feel like there was a lot of things that went wrong. I feel like last year they kept her too much in the background. And a lot of people were asking, but what was Harris doing? What was Harris doing? And I know for a fact that she just didn't have much power last year. I feel like they kept her a lot in the background last year. And I feel like they put her in a position this year to practically save the day. And she did a lot. Academics at the Trump headquarters. Academics is crazy. And I'm proud of her, and I hope that she's proud of herself. No matter what happens tonight, this is gonna be like one of the most unforgettable elections.
I mean, the truth is, yeah, she was kept in the background. She was the vice president. Most vice presidents aren't really in the front, right? So there's that. But also at the end of the day, I feel like her team just didn't listen. I mean, there was a lot of us that were talking and trying to help for years, trying to really put her out there. I don't really know what goes on behind the scenes within that bubble. But, you know, I do blame her team. You know, I don't blame her. I think she did for her to do what she was able to do in 100 days was phenomenal. So for that, Kamala, I'm going to give you your flowers. Because it took a lot. I mean, I know just doing a little city council campaign in a district, what that was. Zigzagging across the state for work. You're zigzagging all over the country, still doing your day job. And I mean, at 60 years old, even though you look beautiful, I mean, my hat off to you because you did that. Mm-hmm. And you actually restored some hope that there was a chance for the Democratic Party. I also think people are over the politics of Democrat and Republican. People just want to gravitate to whatever seems real. And I will say, while I won't say Trump is real, I will say he comes off relatable to his base. He feeds his base what they want, and he really works to gaslight people into anger and fear, and that clearly won. Now, other emotions that ranged that night went from sad to mad, frustrated, And ultimately, we were all disappointed. Now, America has elected a president who's been called the worst president of the United States in history, who's been impeached twice, who's a convicted felon and a convicted rapist, and who has, tried to stage a coup on the whole country. Remember that January 6th, where people were climbing up the building, a woman got killed, officers were hurt and also killed. Well, he also took away abortion rights. And when asked about how he voted on Florida's abortion measure, he told reporters, just stop talking about that. He wanted to talk about something else because it was an inconvenience to bother him with something like abortion. Women's bodies, ill. He then attacked other women with their rights and attacked minorities with racist rhetoric. But now he's going to be your president. It says a lot about the country. It says a lot about who we are. He said he's going to do a mass deportation day one. So all the Latinos who are related to people here that may be here, unlawfully, they on their way out of here. Just mind-boggling how in a country where women vote and want to have control over their bodies, more women voted for a man who said no. What does that say about the country?
It was a cultural vote, in my opinion. So the majority of those women voted in favor of preserving their position in power in this country, as opposed to voting in a woman who was actually more concerned with the power and position of a woman to maintain control over her own body and autonomy of her body. It's disappointing.
Well, I remember back in the day when they asked Kamala Harris if America was racist, she said no. Yeah. Is this proof that it could be? Because I could tell you, some of y'all walking around here with a whole different level of privilege now. I got on a flight, and this man got on there with a Trump hat, and he was moving a little reckless through that aisle, bumping into people, not apologizing, almost as if wanted to have some type of confrontation. Mm-hmm. And so that's the kind of energy that this MAGA movement brings. Okay, and I don't know what making America great again even means, because like, when has it been great if you look at history? Are you talking about the economy? Are you talking about, because in terms of our lens, I don't know. Well, reacting to the news, comedian and friend to the Jason Lee Show, D.L. Hughley, made an interesting point about 4 years of fear. Take a look. We have elections every 4 years in this country. It's completely normal for one side to be disappointed in losing. What's not normal is to be in fear after one side wins. Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, again, that's why I decided to run. That's why a lot of people are interested in politics now. I'm sure that this win is going to fuel the Democratic base, and people are going to, over the next 2 years until the Senate and House go through their elections, are going to see for the first time ever what it looks like to have a Republican White House, Senate, House, and Supreme Court. Is that scary?
That's extremely scary. It's extremely scary for multiple reasons. It's extremely scary.
You all that are TikToking and vaping and running around trying to figure out how to be famous or whatever, y'all better dial into what's happening. Because I'm going to tell you, my passport got a whole bunch of blank pages on it, and I know I'm an elected councilman. At least we'll be safe in Stockton, but the rest of the country, I just don't know. Well, Van Jones also spoke of the women, LGBTQ, and migrants in America feeling, quote, hurt. Listen.
I'm thinking about the people who are not a part of anybody's elite who are hurting tonight. There are African-American women who know a little bit about being talked down to and know a little bit about having their economic dreams crushed, who tried to dream a big dream over the past couple of months. And tonight they're trading in a lot of hope for a lot of hurt. And they were hoping that maybe this time, one of their own could be seen as worthy. And once again, they were facing rejection. And that hurts. They thought tomorrow morning they're going to walk out with their shoulders back a little bit, maybe able to breathe for the first time and feel like they belong someplace. They did everything that they knew how to do. And it's going to be harder than it should be tomorrow for them to hold their heads up. And they're not the only people who are hurting tonight. If you're a parent of a trans kid, your child's face was used as a springboard to power for somebody. There are going to be people tomorrow, we're going to be handing clothes at the dry cleaners to people who don't have papers. There are going to be people who are going to be cleaning your teeth tomorrow who don't have papers. And they're terrified tonight. And so it's easy to blow this off. Oh, look at the elites. They're going to get their comeuppance. It's not the elite that's going to pay the price. It's people who woke up this morning with a dream and are going to bed with a nightmare. And those people deserve to be respected and held and talked to. Those are the people who are going to pay the price for whatever dollar.
Y'all got what y'all asked for. That's all I could say. I'm going to be watching the news and hearing all your cries and all your frustrations. See, I'm not a woman, so I don't have a uterus. I don't have a birthing canal. I ain't got those issues. But I feel for women. I stand for women. I defend women and their right to decide what to do with their body. I don't see me getting married anytime soon. Then again, that changes every 30 days. So I might want to get married. But if I do, it'll be before January. Because after January, that right can go away. That's what happens when you have a House, a Senate, a White House, and the Supreme Court all controlled by a party that has their own beliefs. Project 2025, they're starting to print it up now. He said he wanted to get rid of Department of Education. What is that all going to look like? What is America going to look like? He has presidential immunity. He can say that Kamala Harris and the Clintons plotted to kill him, so he had him assassinated. And guess what? Won't go to jail. And that conviction he got, that's going away. That's going away. He's the president. Y'all asked for it. Y'all asked for it. And I'm just going to sit back and watch, do my 4 years, try to hold it down in Stockton, California. We're going to pass an ordinance that Trump is not welcome.
You know what?
But yeah, you get what you asked for. The morning after the election day, Trump's campaign press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, now she didn't leave it to nobody but her to go out there and tell everybody what his day one plan is. So if any of you have anybody in the country that is scared about being deported, this is what she had to say.
People delivered a resounding victory for President Trump, and it gives him a mandate to govern as he campaigned, to deliver on the promises that he made, which include on day one launching the largest mass deportation operation of illegal immigrants that Kamala Harris has allowed into this country. It includes drill baby drill and expediting permits for nuclear, for fossil fuels, for an above all energy approach that's going to bring down the cost of living in this country. It includes on day one bringing Ukraine and Russia to the negotiating table to end this war and returning to the very tough sanctions on the Iranian regime so we can stop the chaos in the Middle East. The American people are clearly longing for the policies of Donald Trump. They despise the policies that the Harris-Biden administration have implemented over the past 4 years. And the Harris-Biden administration will go down as the worst, weakest, most corrupt administration in our nation's history.
Well, I see what you did there. It's not the Harris-Biden administration. It's the Biden-Harris administration. These are policies that he created. These are policies that he enacted. But you try to put it all on her. Because that's the thing. You guys want her to look like a failure because you do know she's strong enough to come back if she had the right amount of time and probably be a threat to the Republican Party. You know, they have to think about what the next 4 years look like because they want to keep Republicans in office. And so Trump, I think, is going to be a different Trump this time than he was the last time. He's still going to be a tyrant, but he's not going to be as bad as the last time because they want to preserve the White House. And there's no way you'll be able to do that. If he gets in there and does, yeah, he's going to do it.
He's going to do it.
I just think it's weird. On paper, it's very interesting because Kamala worked all three branches of the government. She had everybody come out, Taylor Swift, Jennifer Lopez, Cardi, Beyonce, and all those millions of like fans and followers that buy everything they do, go to every concert, and to still have her lose is just like, I don't know if that means that celebrities don't have that big of an impact anymore, or when it comes to politics, it's just really crazy.
Well, I think people watching all these celebrities get dressed up in their clothes and go out there and do that realize that they're not going to put gas in their car, they're not going to put food on their table, they're not going to pay their rent. Like people are concerned about real things. I think it all boils down to messaging. Like, what is your message? What is your plan? I don't think she really sold people on her economic plan. She talked about it here and there, but she didn't really sell people, and people weren't bought into it. When they thought about safety in the country, nobody bought into it. And the reality is, she's just like the person I ran against. She has to defend the last 4 years. Whereas I could look at it and say, oh, we had a lot of good things. I also, think about the people who can't afford to live in their city or in their country. In this country with inflation, gas, and everything else, it's just out of control. Energy. And she didn't have enough time to prove to people that she was going to change it. But this is also a time where we're seeing that having experience doesn't matter. Like, are you popular? Do people think you're cool? Oh my God, he got arrested. He's a gangsta. Y'all asked for it. They asked for it.
But even if she did win, wouldn't the government still be it as is because the Senate's Republican anyways?
Yeah, essentially, yes. It would have been like her in the presidency, but still having to now deal with a Republican Senate and a Republican House. So it would have been an uphill battle to push anything through.
Yeah.
But I think this will be the first time we get to fully see what happens when we don't pay attention and we put in, like you mentioned earlier, a Republican White House, a Republican Senate, a Republican House, and you already have a very, very conservative Supreme Court.
Y'all in trouble.
Trouble.
There's nobody that can sell me on look, and I'm somebody with money who understands, like, when it comes to taxes, I get it. Like, the Democrats are killing me. But there's bigger issues than money. There's freedoms, and there's like the rights that we fought for. Like, all of our ancestors died for something. And think about it, like, a lot of the things that people died for, we're getting ready to undo.
Mm-hmm.
So their deaths definitely went in vain because we're not preserving the history. Well, that same morning, it was reported that Kamala Harris called Donald Trump to concede the election, to congratulate him on winning, and to discuss the importance of a peaceful transfer of power and the importance of being a president for all Americans. Well, finally, she broke her silence and gave an emotional concession speech that left Americans motivated, especially the younger generation. Take a listen.
My heart is full today, full of gratitude for the trust you have placed in me, full of love for our country, and full of resolve. The outcome of this election is not what we wanted, not what we fought for, not what we voted for, but hear me when I say, the light of America's promise will always burn bright as long as we never give up and as long as we keep fighting. Look, I am so proud of the race we ran and the way we ran it. Over the 107 days of this campaign, we have been intentional about building community and building coalitions, bringing people together from every walk of life and background, united by love of country with enthusiasm and joy in our fight for America's future. And we did it with the knowledge that we all have so much more in common than what separates us. Now, I know folks are feeling and experiencing a range of emotions right now. I get it. But we accept the results of this election. Earlier today, I spoke with President-elect Trump and congratulated him on his victory. I also told him that we will help him and his team with their transition, and that we will engage in a peaceful transfer of power. A fundamental principle of American democracy is that when we lose an election, we accept the results. That principle, as much as any other, distinguishes democracy from monarchy or tyranny. And anyone who seeks the public trust must honor it. At the same time, in our nation, we owe loyalty not to a president or a party, but to the Constitution of the United States, and loyalty to our conscience and to our God. My allegiance to all three is why I am here to say, while I concede this election, I do not concede the fight that fueled this campaign. The fight for freedom, for opportunity, for fairness, and the dignity of all people. A fight for the ideals at the heart of our nation, the ideals that reflect America at our best. That is a fight I will never give up. I will never give up the fight for a future where Americans can pursue their dreams, ambitions, and aspirations, where the women of America have the freedom to make decisions about their own body and not have their government telling them what to do. We will never give up the fight to protect our schools and our streets from gun violence. And America, we will never give up the fight for our democracy, for the rule of law, for equal justice, and for the sacred idea that every one of us, no matter who we are or where we start out, has certain fundamental rights and freedoms that must be respected and upheld. And we will continue to wage this fight in the voting booth, in the courts, and in the public square. The fight for our freedom will take hard work, but like I always say, we like hard work. Hard work is good work. Hard work can be joyful work. And the fight for our country is always worth it. It is always worth it. To the young people who are watching, it is... I love you. To the young people who are watching, it is okay to feel sad and disappointed. But please know it's going to be okay. On the campaign, I would often say, when we fight, we win. But here's the thing. Sometimes the fight takes a while. That doesn't mean we won't win. That doesn't mean we won't win. The important thing is don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. Don't ever stop trying to make the world a better place. You have power. You have power. And don't you ever listen when anyone tells you something is impossible because it has never been done before. You have the capacity to do extraordinary good in the world. And so to everyone who is watching, do not despair. This is not a time to throw up our hands. This is a time to roll up our sleeves. This is a time to organize, to mobilize, and to stay engaged for the sake of freedom and justice and the future that we all know we can build together. And I'll close with this. There's an adage an historian once called a law of history. Only when it is dark enough can you see the stars. I know many people feel like we are entering a dark time, but for the benefit of us all, I hope that is not the case. But here's the thing, America, if it is, let us fill the sky with the light of a brilliant, brilliant billion of stars, the light of optimism, of faith, of truth and service. And may that work guide us, even in the face of setbacks, toward the extraordinary promise of the United States of America. I thank you all. May God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America. I thank you all.
We could hear the emotion in your voice, Kamala. We appreciate everything that you've done for the country. And listen, you lost, and you're going to go on to be great, and I'm sure we'll hear from you soon. I'm sure everybody's still processing this because this is huge. I mean, we're talking about, I don't even think y'all understand. This is getting ready to be a very trying time for at least 2 years. There's a lot of work to be done to try to bring more balance to the government. You know, you have 2 years to replace folks with different people for the House or the Senate, but I don't know. I really don't know what to say.
I mean, I think it's really important for people to, like, I think this is great to show how democracy should look if you lose, if the side you choose that you supported loses, right? So everybody on this side, no one's going, they cheated. We need to overturn this. Like, that's not happening. This is what democracy looks like. But at the same time, I think we should be highlighting the promises that this man has made to give police immunity from prosecution, to make stop and frisk a federal law, to, even though they say they're not going to ban abortion on a federal level, if they do, that means even in California, you don't have access to it. And that can happen when you have the Senate and the House. So it's like all of these things that people are like, oh, it won't really affect me because I'm just worried about the money in my pocket. These are real issues that will affect you when they are voted on. So,
well, thankfully, we're still in a democratic state for some regard. I mean, taxes wise, you're killing me, but there's still protections, and then your city still has protections. And I can tell you right now, don't bring all this crazy shit to Stockton because we ain't dealing with that. All right, well, bye. Well, Young Thug is out. Can we clap? Look, I'm going to be tough on crime, but I got to be fair. Well, this Young Thug trial was a mess. Thug was in jail for so long that I don't even remember what he was in jail for. I know it was RICO, but like all the details. Well, Young Thug is now a sort of free man, after being swept up in that RICO charge a year and a half ago. Now, in May 2022, the rapper was jailed and denied bond in his YSL racketeering case, and on Halloween 2024, he accepted a plea deal. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, before we even get into all the details, the plea deal was some bullshit. He's in trouble. Have you heard the plea deal?
It's
15
long.
years probation.
Crazy work.
That hook, line, and sinker. Well, Young Thug pled no contest to 2 counts of conspiracy to violate Georgia's RICO Act and participation in criminal street gang activity. He also pled guilty to 6 other counts related to drug possession and firearm violations. Now, as a part of his plea deal, Young Thug, who was facing 120 years in prison, like I said, was given the 15 years probation and banned from Metro Atlanta, so no more Magic City, for the next 10 years. Now, Thug's only allowed in ATL for medical emergencies, so I'm wondering if he's going to buy miracle marijuana. Well, no. Okay, well, or medical emergencies for his family members, funerals, and any scheduled presentations or concerts that warn of the dangers of gang participation, which he's been ordered to do at least 4 times yearly. He's also been prohibited from promoting gangs or gang culture, so I don't really know what his name is going to be now or what the YSL committee, maybe it's going to be YSL committee. And he has to cease all contact with gang members and YSL affiliates, which means that his whole YSL group is disbanding, except for his brother Quantavious and Gunna. Why they named him Quantavious, I don't know. But Gunna, I see you doing your thing. You got them abs now. You sketched them in or worked them out. Whatever you did, you look good. And people have accepted Gunna back, so we're not gonna hate on you anymore. Now, reacting to Young Thug's plea deal and banned from Atlanta, his father, Jeffrey Williams Sr., slammed the poisonous Fulton County DA's office. Listen.
What were your thoughts when you heard that your son was going to take a plea?
I was kind of startled behind it because I was in agreement with Brian and Keith. Let's keep fighting. You know what I'm saying? Let's make them continue to embarrass themselves. But at the same token, my son is I've never tried to interfere with his decisions. I just try to give him the knowledge of making the best decision that he sees fit for him. And I support it.
If your parents and your friends out there doing press conferences when they shouldn't be talking, leading people along. Because with a probation, all you need is one little thing and you're out. 120 years? Man. I'm ready to see you get out and do your thing. But I ain't gonna lie, I do miss kind of watching the witnesses come in there and talk. And the judge get pissed and like they've switched out the judge 3 times. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think this has been a circus?
Yeah, and if you have no evidence, you can't make it stick. Like, you got to let him live his life.
I'm so happy he's free. And I feel like I love Mariah the scientist and she loves him. So I just feel like they're going to have a child expeditiously now and live happily ever after.
Bottom line is, if it don't fit, you must acquit. That's right. We learned that a long time ago. It fit in that case, and he's still acquitted. But either way, I'm glad that he's actually gotten out because I don't think you can be in prison or jail for 3 or 4 years getting a fair trial. Like, why would it last 2-3 years? Okay. So anyway, Thug is out. We'll report back next week and tell you if anything changed. Bye. All right. Lil Wayne, he's still hurt over the Super Bowl controversy. You know, he recently was denied being able to headline the Super Bowl in Louisiana, where him and all the other Young Money, Cash Money, Old Money, New Money groups, they all are there. Like, and they should have performed, but, you know, Jay-Z decided, well, look, Jay-Z, I don't want to problem.
Oh.
While hosting his annual Lil Louisiana, is it Louisiana? Lil Louisiana Fest in New Orleans. Oh,
Louisiana.
Oh,
like
Louisiana.
Come on.
Okay, let me get it. Lil Louisiana. I see what you did there. Fest in New Orleans. Lil Wayne, again, opened up about feeling hurt by not being selected to headline next year's Super Bowl halftime show in his hometown. Now, in September, Jay-Z... Do you think TikTok? In September, Jay-Z's Rock Nation and the NFL announced that Kendrick Lamar, as the headliner, would be performing there and that Lil Wayne would not. And this is for Super Bowl 59, in case you're wondering. Now, this is happening in New Orleans, where Lil Wayne is from, and a lot of people felt like this is hometown, home court. He should have been able to be front and center performing all of his hits, while others say he's lazy and, you know, whatever, his performances are a little lackluster, or he's late, or, you know, he's a diva. Well, I'll say it.
Allegedly.
I like Lil Wayne. Every time I see him, he's lit. Well, at the time, several social media users were split on the decision, arguing that Cash Money and or No Limit artists should have been tapped for the big gig. A few days later, Lil Wayne eventually spoke out and had this to say.
First of all, I want to say forgive me for the delay. The delay on, just the delay. I want to say I had to get strength. I had to get strength enough to do this without breaking. I must say thank you. I must say thank you to every voice, every opinion, all the care, all the love, and the support out there. Your words turned into arms, and it held me up when I tried to fall back. That hurt a lot. You know what I'm talking about? It hurt a whole lot. I blame myself for not being mentally prepared for a letdown. And for just automatically mentally putting myself in that position like somebody told me that was my position. So I blame myself for that, but I thought that was nothing, I thought that was nothing better than that spot and that stage and that platform in my city. And so it hurt a whole lot. But y'all are fucking amazing. It made me feel like shit not getting this opportunity. And when I felt like shit, you guys reminded me that I ain't shit without y'all. And that's an amazing reality. So, like I said, it broke, and I'm just trying to put me back together, but my God, have you all helped me. Thanks to all my peers, my friends, my family, my homies on sports television, everybody repping me. I really appreciate that. I really do. I feel like I let all of y'all down by not getting that opportunity. But I'm working on me, and I'm working. So, thank you.
Well, 2 months later, Lil Wayne hosted his annual Lil Louisiana Fest in his hometown and again grieved over the loss of opportunity, claiming that it was ripped from him. Listen.
During my lifetime, the first Super Bowl was here, I made sure I bought tickets at the beginning of the season. And I did the same when I moved to Miami, and I was wishing my team make it, and guess who made it that year? The motherfucking Saints. I was able to give my mama that sweet. She was able to bring my family, and other people from New Orleans, and they had a fucking ball. That moment I said to myself, I want to be on stage for the Super Bowl one day in front of my mom. And I worked my ass off to get that fucking position, and it was ripped away from me. But this motherfucking moment right here, they can't take that, man. They can't take that from me. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for yourself for being amazing.
I don't know what to tell you. I mean, they're not going to let you perform. I understand that's painful. You have to grieve and move on. And maybe there'll be another year to do it. I think this would have been the best year because you're in your hometown and you clearly have worked. I mean, you're known as one of the greatest rappers of all time, and you worked your way up all the way from being a little kid. And we've watched you grow up over the years. I remember when you were little Lil Wayne, for real. Mixtape Lil Wayne. I don't understand how we got here. Jay-Z just get a pass. He can do anything he wants. Wayne, I'm sorry this happened to you. Do you think it would make sense to let Lil Wayne perform at another Super Bowl at another location?
I love Lil Wayne down, but I don't want to see him perform. I don't even want to see Kendrick perform for real. I feel like they could have made a better choice. Sorry. But to say it was ripped away from you is really weird because it was never given to you. So how can it get ripped away from you? Because to be honest, the only thing that's ripped away was his hair.
Whose hair?
The Lil Wayne.
Why are we hating on Lil Wayne?
I'm not hating on him, but I'm like, nothing was
throwing shade on Lil Wayne. It's Lil Wayne.
No, I'm just saying, but it was never ripped away.
He may pull up to the show one day.
Well, that's no shade. No
Lil Wayne, that was shade.
No shade.
Listen, we're talking about a man who worked his whole life to be given an opportunity. He had a dream that we didn't know about. I was actually at an event for the Grammys where you, Wayne, came and spoke about how you were being acknowledged or being awarded at the Black Music Collective, and you talked about how you were never acknowledged for the contribution that you've given to hip-hop. And I felt that because as somebody who's done such a phenomenal job, and you know, we have to give it up to Lil Wayne. As much as we've had issues with Nicki Minaj and her craziness, he created Nicki Minaj, he created Drake. I mean, you've created some of the most amazing musicians in hip hop, and so you deserve that. You know, a Lil Wayne show at halftime at Super Bowl would have included all those people. I also think, no, he didn't bring Justin Bieber. Usher did, but either way, he opened the door for so many people, and that would have been a phenomenal thing to see all those artists perform on stage. So I'm not going to let her throw no shade towards you, Lil Wayne, because you are an icon and you are a phenomenal artist, and we are not going to, in a moment of him being a black man showing vulnerability, take a dig at him, because that's the thing. Men don't show vulnerability. Men don't show how they feel. Men are afraid to share how they feel. And when women like you do that, is why they end up in my house with me or Rob.
You know what?
Okay, so keep in mind, I'm not saying Lil Wayne, we don't want you over here. I'm just saying they find their way into the comfort. It ain't a bosom, but you know what I mean? Sorry, I can't make Rob laugh too hard. He got a faja.
I can still laugh.
Shit.
I love Lil Wayne. We just don't want to see him perform.
Sorry, you don't get to make it up. You talked about his hair.
I'd
be careful talking about his hair.
And I love Regine. I love him.
No, don't bring up other black women's hair.
Listen,
You're going down a slippery slope.
Not the hair.
You're going down slippery slope.
Don't do me like that.
Black people in the comments right now calling for your head. Yes.
No.
Listen, Trump is the president. I'm turning everything into race.
Know what?
Everything is a racial issue.
Don't be fucking rude. Bitch, you tried it.
Anyway, Wayne, we love you, and I just send you my prayers, my well wishes that you work through this. And I say prayers because sometimes you just got to pray and give it to Jesus. Jesus or Jay-Z, one of them going to make your day or break your day. And in this case, it was Jay-Z that broke it. Do your thing, TikTok. You'll be fine. You are still Lil Wayne. And don't listen to Marina. I love your hair, and you're welcome on my show anytime. Next. Well, this is interesting. Cam Newton and his girl Jazzy, they're talking about open relationships. Listen. What? I ain't saying nothing. Cam, we love you over here. We don't leave it at that. Comedian and actress Jasmine Brown remains unfazed after her boyfriend and child's father, Cam Newton, admitted to sleeping with other women during their relationship. On a recent episode of his Funky Friday podcast, former NFL star Cam Newton told comedian Corey Holcomb some interesting details about his relationship with Jazzy. By the way, we are casually living through all of this mess, and we are living for it. I love how open it is. Cam, we want to know how open it gets. The relationship, Cam, the relationship. Because Cam Newton that's a beautiful big old man.
He's a big guy.
Anyway, listen to what she had to say.
You are not finna tell me you up here fucking one person. It's not finna happen.
No. See, you're trying to deflect back to me.
No, I would never do you like that.
But
I got respect for you.
No, here.
But you didn't answer that for a reason.
No. Understand this.
You didn't answer for a reason.
I'm going to answer mine, and then I want you to answer mine too.
I will answer it, brother, and I promise you I won't bullshit with you.
Okay. How long are you talking about?
What you mean?
Fucking one person.
What do you mean, how long I'm talking about?
As long as I've been with Jazz, Jazz has not been the only person that I've had sex with.
I don't know your situation.
But I'm getting personal.
Right. I don't know your situation.
Since you want to take it there. And this is the thing that has...
Do you feel like I'm being disrespectful?
No.
Because I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
No.
I think you're being brilliant, Corey. I love the fact that you went there. And I love the fact that Cam was able to open up and let us peek into the bedroom just a little bit. So you have an open relationship, or at least that's what it seems like. And, the only thing is that people need to just stop managing and policing people's bedrooms, right? We don't know their situation. They could be two big old freaks. They could have a swing in a room where she swings from the swing into the bed. They could play Tarzan and Jane. We don't know what these people are doing. He was a quarterback. Maybe he's throwing the ball to her. Well, he threw it once because she got pregnant. Either way, we don't know what's going on in their bedroom, okay? Although we want to. Anyway, trying to appear unfazed, Jasmine took to her Instagram story, and this is what she said. Child, here come to just checking on you DMs. I am fine. Trust me. I know who and what my is. Ain't no secrets or surprises. He could talk to me about anything. What was our topic on our last podcast? Honest cheating?
Mm-hmm. Respectful cheating.
Respectful cheating. So maybe they have a respectful cheating situation. If I was with Cam, I'd let him cheat. But then again, it's not cheating if you know. It's
not cheating.
Yeah.
But you could look at Cam. He got 8 kids. Didn't Dr. Bryant go break down his toxicity? Like, he got all these kids. You already know he dropping D off somewhere between Buckhead and
Sandy Springs.
Yeah. Rob, you're so in love with Cam Newton. You can't even hide it. You can't even hide it.
No, he's a nice guy. He's very nice.
Rob, I've known you for so many years. We've never sat around and said somebody was a nice guy. I know what you really think. Your eyes don't lie. Well, either way, Cam, I like that you opened up. We'd like to know more detail. Maybe drop it on the OnlyFans or something like that. Cash out. Hold on. Where's it at? Jazzy, stop defending your man, even by putting up a statement. Just let people say whatever they want and go about your business. I'm sure it has to be annoying when people like me and the world talk about your relationship, but he talked about it, so here we are. I want this relationship to stay together, but it's been like a few times now recently where they've talked about stuff, and it gets tough, man. It gets tough. And Jazzy's such a light. Cam, we talked about you coming on my show. I got questions. I need you to pull up. All right. Anyway, bye, y'all. Megan Thee Stallion admitted she lied. Imagine that. Back when people used to say that Megan Thee Stallion was a liar, I used to just say maybe she was drunk because she's a drinker. She's a heavy drinker who struggled with alcohol. And I know you're going to say, oh, but she lost her family. So I understand. I lost a brother, and I understand drinking is a coping mechanism. It doesn't mean you don't need to get help. By the way, I'm celebrating 14 months.
Allegedly.
Oops. Sorry. Wrong button. 14 months sobriety. Stop playing with me. God, maybe hit the wrong button. Well, you know, Megan, she struggled with her alcoholism or her lack of sobriety for a long time, and as a result, things have happened. Like she got shot, and she said one video I saw, she said he was shooting from the front, one he was shooting from the back. I don't know. Maybe she was thinking about sex when she was talking about where he was shooting it from. But either way, she's gotten some details wrong. Well, now Megan Thee Stallion is finally admitting to lying about her affair with Tory Lanez. You know, the same Tory who was first sleeping with her ex-best friend, Kelsey. Well, in her new Amazon Prime documentary, Megan Thee Stallion, in her words, she conceded that she lied when she talked to Gayle King. And she told Gayle that she wasn't in a sexual relationship with Tory. And this is when they sat down and talked on CBS Morning a while back. Now, here's what Megan told Gayle in April 2022, 2 years after the shooting. Listen.
Did you have an intimate relationship with him?
Like sexual?
Yeah. Megan, did you have a sexual relationship with Tory Lanez? Yes, that's my question.
I didn't have a sexual relationship with Tory.
It was all a lie.
So you sat there and you lied to Gayle. Well, you know how they say in court, if you lied about one thing, what else are you lying about? They say that on Law & Order every episode. When Megan's documentary, she came clean about her affair with Tory Lanez. Listen.
Yes, bitch, I lied to Gayle King, bitch. First of all, I didn't know that bitch was even gonna ask me about that shit. Bitch, she's always gonna talk about this shooting. Why'd you ask me about fucking Tory? That's not what this is about. Even if I was, I fucked this like once, maybe twice on a drunk night. Bitch, you kept catching me out of my fucking mind.
So I'm gonna do a little thing here. Work with me, okay? Johnny, we're going to run those two acids back. I'm going to call acid number 1, then I'm going to call acid number 2, okay? Ready? All right. But I'm just going to say, I'm going to ask a question, then I'm going to point, play acid number 1. I'm going to ask a question, point, play acid number 2. Megan, hi, it's me, Jason. Did you fuck Tory?
Did you have an intimate relationship with him?
Like sexual?
Yeah. Megan, did you have a sexual relationship with Tory Lanez? Yes, that's my question.
I didn't have a sexual relationship with Tory.
Bitch, did you have a sexual relationship with Tory?
Yes, bitch, I lied to Gayle King, bitch. First of all, I didn't know that bitch was even gonna ask me about that shit. Bitch, she's always gonna talk about this shooting. Why'd you ask me about fucking Tory? That's not what this is about. Even if I was, I fucked this like once, maybe twice on a drunk night. Bitch, you kept catching me out of my fucking mind.
Let's try this one more time. I'm going to just switch up the question, okay? Girl, did Tory shoot you?
Did you have an intimate relationship with him?
Like sexual?
Yeah. Megan, did you have a sexual relationship with Tory Lanez? Yes, that's my question.
I didn't have a sexual relationship with Tory.
Tory shot you?
Yes, bitch, I lied to Gayle King, bitch. First of all, I didn't know that bitch was even gonna ask me about that shit. Bitch, she's always gonna talk about this shooting. Why'd you ask me about fucking Tory? That's not what this is about. Even if I was, I fucked this like once, maybe twice on a drunk night. Bitch, you kept catching me out of my fucking mind.
Do your thing, TikTok. You lied. Now, I told y'all a long time ago, EJ King, who's a friend of mine, told me, and he's not related to Gayle, so we ain't got to go there. No conspiracy. He told me they were all at Kylie's house. Him, Megan, and Tory were all in the pool. They were super drunk, wasted. Tory started hitting on Kylie. Kylie kicked them out the house. They ended up in the car. They got in the car, and then voila. Everybody that's been drunk has had a drunk night where they don't remember all the details of a situation. Haven't you, Rob?
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Of course.
It's happened to all of us. So maybe you don't remember everything. Maybe you do. I'm not the one that wants to question you of whether or not you got shot by him, because, of course, you got shot, even though some people say you didn't get shot, that those were some other thing. I believe you did get shot. But how you got shot and who shot you, I don't know, because if you lied about this, you would lie about that. What's the difference between Gayle and a jury? You know who manages Megan, right? Jay-Z.
Oh.
I'm just saying, just to color the picture, that she has some very powerful people behind her. And a lot of people have said, allegedly, that Jay-Z had a lot to do with him. I mean, this is rumors, of course. I don't know if it was Jaguar Wright or whoever, so please don't sue me. Said that Jay-Z had something to do with that. Maybe he did or maybe he didn't. I don't know. Well, either way, Gayle King ended up reacting to the clip, and this is what she said.
Hey, I'm just sitting here minding my own business. People are reaching out to me saying, hey, Gail, Megan Thee Stallion just called you a bitch. Well, I know you're expecting me, or maybe you're thinking I have something negative to say. I do not. I have nothing but great, great love and respect for Megan Thee Stallion, cheering her on always. But there's so much bigger things that are happening in the world, like radio today. There's so much to discuss. The election, 5 days and counting. 5 days. Are you ready? We're going to talk about that today. We have a historian who has predicted the last 9 out of 10 presidential races correctly. How is he feeling about this? How has this election gotten so nasty? It seems to be getting worse by the day. How do we tap that down? Let's discuss. What are you thinking as you're heading to the polls? I was in Pennsylvania yesterday. Pennsylvania voters have lots of thoughts. We'll talk about that. Okay, so that's segment 1. Segment 2, Halloween, hence the orange and black. What's your favorite costume? What's your most creative thing you've done for Halloween? What do you look forward to on a day like this? So we'll have a little Halloween fun, a little Halloween conversation. So I'll see you on the radio. Bye.
Are you dressed as a today?
Nope, I'm not dressed as a I'm just dressed as Gayle King. But seriously, I got nothing but love for Megan Thee Stallion. I'm nuts about her.
Gail is every type of classy. Gail, you a classy bitch. Now, I'm going to email you that I called you that too, by the way, but not the bad bitch.
Bling, bling, bling. Bitches is mad.
First of all, let me just break down what happened for all of you who are culturally unaware. Gayle King just read you for filth in a nice, classy way by talking about the things that are important, and she doesn't feel like you and Tory Lanez, whether or not you slept with him or not or lied, is important. So she talked about an election that was critical at the time, Halloween, where people were going out and giving thousands of pieces of candy to kids like me, not the little gutter snipe trash that you found yourself in with this documentary. And then at the end, she cracked a joke at you. I mean, Gail, I love you, Gail. Gail. You know I'm a fan. Whatever. I love Gail. But also, Megan wasn't calling her a bitch. She was like she talks to a lot of gay boys. So she was like, bitch, so y'all turned it into something that it wasn't, right?
Yes, 100%.
Because they were bitch. Yeah. That's what she was doing. She wasn't calling Gayle King a bitch. She would never do that. Just like Gail would never admit that she just threw shit at you. But Gail knew you weren't calling her that because Gail's like, whatever. Tory Lanez's legal team, of course, they reacted to this confession. And this is what the legal lawyers had to say. The fact that Megan lied about her sexual relationship with Tory obviously makes her an unreliable witness. If someone lies in front of millions of people, how can you trust them? Or trust what they would say any other time? I agree. I want a retrial. You don't want a retrial?
No.
Why?
I just, look, I feel like people lie all the time about their body count. People lie all the time about people who are included in their body count.
People don't lie about their body count as it relates to somebody who shot them.
Yes, they do. I think it would be
shot them.
I think it would be embarrassing.
Shot them.
Yes, I think she would be embarrassed in the moment to say that the person who shot her, yes, I was fucking that. So,
but the truth's gonna come out. So,
but again, people lie about sex.
You're making an excuse for her lying.
No, I'm saying that
in court.
I'm saying that she shouldn't lie in court. Did she lie in court and say he didn't?
We don't know. That's what he's saying.
No, it was in the court. She did. That's the thing too. Is that in court she did say the truth. So people are like, why would you just lie to Gail?
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Again, just because you told that lie in that moment, I don't think that makes you overwhelmingly a liar all the time. Because we all have lied about.
I don't lie.
So you tell the truth about everybody you slept with. I'm just saying sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I mean, I don't say their names and stuff.
I'm saying sometimes you might omit a person or say I ain't sleep with that person and it happened. But like I think everybody lies about sex.
You do that.
Oh please.
That's because in your mind you're not.
I'm pure.
A promiscuous representation of West Hollywood.
I'm pure.
You're what?
I'm pure.
You keep laughing, them stitches gonna pop out that faja. And you're gonna be getting something else sucked out. All right, either way, Megan, listen, I wish you the best. You seem happy today. Everybody keeps asking me to release the tea on Megan that I said I was gonna release. She got in a fight with Winnie Harlow at Michael Rubin's party. I don't have all the full details yet, and I'm waiting on the video. But I've texted Megan and Winnie, so there you go. Boom. Hold on. Have a good weekend. It's time for Thoughts and Prayers. TikTok, do you think? America has spoken, and Donald Trump will be our 47th president. Disappointed doesn't even come close to the feeling that women, minorities, and their allies have been feeling since the news. Now, our next president was supposed to be Kamala Harris, making history as the first Black and Indian American female president. Instead, our next president is black and orange, is making history as the nation's first convicted felon and rapist to be elected. This isn't the history election-making thing that we wanted to see. With Trump's victory, this nearly guarantees he'll never face legal accountability for his alleged wrongdoings. White male privilege is an understatement. While Trump and others suggested that his arrest and mugshots helped him appeal to and connect with minority voters, the Trump campaign turned around and played right in the faces of blacks and Latinos all year, even days before the election. And y'all still voted him in. To all the women, minorities, LGBTQ relatives of Rob, and others feeling defeated, we're going to keep fighting because the war is not over. It wasn't over for Young Thug either. He fought his case in 2 years. He ended up with 15 years probation. Well, fortunately, our bid is for only 4 years. Some of y'all have been in toxic relationships for way longer than that, so you know we'll make it through. But just how Lil Wayne feels like the Super Bowl stage was ripped from him, Kamala Harris was snatched from us. But Lil Weezy once said, let it all work out. Just like Cam and Jasmine's relationships. Now, they got it worked out where he can see other women and nobody seems to get hurt. Unlike the love triangle with Megan, Tory, and Kelsey where Meg got shot. Because, like they say, too many cooks in the kitchen can spoil the broth. I don't like broth. Well, that's the show. You all are on social media right now tagging Megan Thee Stallion in this clip saying Jason Lee wants to know why you were fighting with Winnie Harlow allegedly at Michael Rubin's all-white party on the 4th of July where I wasn't invited. Hi, Mike. Winnie, why you didn't text me back? Anyway, you too, Megan. I did text both of you, so at least my journalistic integrity was there because I did reach out to them for a statement. But we do have some exciting news. The Jason Lee Show is back, and we have a new home, and I have the trailer for you. Watch.
Jason. The tea is hot.
The hottest cappuccino in America is here.
It don't get no hotter than this, baby. You don't want to miss what happens next.
Okay.
You're Jason Lee.
One and only.
You don't know who I saw. I was down the street and I had to roll down my windows. I was driving and I couldn't believe it.
I thought you wanted a white mocha. You clearly want to spill the beans. Stand right over here. Just go right over there. Thank you. Next.
Oh, Jason, I was at this party and I got the video. You won't believe the angle.
We don't only serve tea here.
But you want to see
this?
No.
But take your tea and go. Believe the video.
You want to see that?
Next.
Man, Jason, I thought you was on break.
I was on break for a little bit, but I'm back. Same show, new network.
What network?
So yes, if you're not downloaded or on Zeus Network, you're going to have to download the app and you'll be able to watch the show on the Zeus Network, and we will keep you posted because it's coming up soon. So check all our social media and make sure you're following us everywhere to stay tuned, locked in, whatever you kids say about being connected to us. All right, you can text me at 310-388-6463. Again, 310-388-6463 if you hear or see Winnie or Megan say anything. And if you hear from Tory Lanez, tell them to text me there too. All right. Till then, follow us everywhere. Download this. We're a podcast stream and watch us on YouTube. Bye.